Good morning. It is a cold and crisp morning here in North Carolina. And today, I'm going to show you how to do a panoramic, how to photograph the panoramic and then take it into your computer. So come along and enjoy this adventure. Okay, I got this panoramic here in mind. It is basically a bunch of grass here that is got frost on top of it, and I got a couple trees behind it, the fog coming off this pond here. This is the kind of scene that, you know, the one thing about panoramics that people say to me is, oh, it has to be this giant all-involving thing. No, it doesn't. It can be basically a small scene, but you just want to make it, you know, like 16 by 9. And being able to take multiple pictures allows you to have a larger, more data in your photo. So I gotta hurry up and take this. So when you're taking photos of panoramics, the most important thing that you need to do is have your photos or your head level for every shot. Now, this may seem like it should happen automatically, and it doesn't. What ends up happening is that even if you don't test it, and I've had this happen to me, you end up with one picture, or it almost ends up like a picture that looks like this sideways when you put them together. So it's very important that your head is level. The other thing that you want to make sure is that all your pictures are taken with the same setting. So you want your camera turned to manual. First thing you want to do is change your settings. So I'm going to change this to ISO 100. I'm going to shoot at aperture f11. You can see the sun coming up behind me. That's going to give me a shutter speed of 3 seconds. I'm going to change this to manual and make those my settings there. That way every picture is taken the same. I have to hurry and take this picture before the sun comes up and melts all my frost here. So what you want to do is focus at the nearest thing. And at this point here, you don't want to change your focus once you take it. I have it in manual. I'm shooting at ISO 100, f11, and that's giving me a shutter speed about 3 seconds because it's in manual. So when you take your first picture, you look through, you focus. You're not going to touch the focus again when you're done with this. Take the picture. When the picture's taken, you move the tripod head so that about 1/3 of the original picture is in the second picture. So you want 1/3 of your first picture in the second picture so that Lightroom or Photoshop can overload it. Another 2-second delay. Don't change the focus. Change it again. Make sure you tighten down everything between pictures. And this will be a quick way to do it. And the last thing you want to do is, because I'm going to do this a couple of times, is put your hand in front of your lens and just take a quick picture. This way here, you know where your sequence ends. So if you do one where it's 3 pictures, the next one's 4, you know where they end. And it seems like you should be able to figure it out. This just saves you time in Lightroom. So next time you see me, I'll be on the computer. Okay, I'm going to speak a lot slower now than I did before in the first half of this video. In the first half of the video, I was really rushing to get this picture. And if you look at this picture, you can actually tell I rushed a lot. But here you can see in the timeline, I have the picture of my hand, and I have the picture, the computer's running a little slow, and then I have the pictures I took. Be the picture that's completely to the left-hand side of the scene. This would be the picture that's in the center, and this would be the picture all the way to the right. So I took 3 pictures, and the goal is to combine them together. Now, you can tell the whole idea of this picture was that I wanted to get with these 2 cattails in it. That was the whole idea when I saw this. But as you can see from the one that's all the way over to the right, this is not very visible. And also this trunk back here is combining it. This tree's out of focus. This piece of grass is out of focus. This light's here. So this is not a great photo, but I did rush and I wanted to do this tutorial. I think if I wasn't videotaping myself doing this, the picture would have come out a lot better. Now that I've got all the excuses picked out, I select one image as my main image. This will be my anchor. So the first thing I want to do is to do all the basic edits. So in this video here, this is not a video on how to edit your photo. So everything's just going to be down and dirty. I'm going to change the white balance to daylight. I'm just going to select auto when it comes to tone, and the computer is going to select the best colors for it. I do want to bring this texture up a little bit. I hope you can kind of see some of the stuff in this image, in this video here. I understand that a lot of you are watching this on YouTube. So maybe you will not see the things, but that really does bring this image up. I want to bring down this clarity just a little bit, and I want to bring down the texture down a little bit. And that's about all I'm going to do to this image here. Now, the next thing I have to do is I have to apply this edit to all these images here. So what I do is hit the control button and click on the last one with my mouse. And if you look down here in the lower left, it says sync. And what that's going to do is it's going to sync all of the images. So the sync settings come up here, and you can see that all of them are selected. And down here at the bottom, you can check none, you can check all. You can actually go through and deselect things that you want. For this demonstration, I'm going to just select them all and hit sync. And what that's going to do is apply those edits to all the images in the panoramic. And you want to do this before you combine them so that you have some basic edits that are done. The next thing we want to do is we want to combine these images here. Now, I want to warn you that there are going to be some kind of funny cuts in this video here. And the reason for that is that the amount of time it takes for my computer to do this will be a lot longer than I want this video to be. So I'm going to cut out these funny, so when you see some funny cuts, it's just because I'm cutting out where the computer has taken too much time. So what I do is I right click on the image and I select photo merge. And I have HDR panoramic and HDR panoramic. I didn't do an HDR panoramic. I just did a straight panoramic. So I click on the panoramic, and the panoramic wizard will open up here. Now the wizard makes a preview here that we're going to see here in a second. Okay, so this is the image that comes out when the AI that's in Lightroom combines them. So if we zoom in here, it's done a pretty good job of merging these photos here. Now, I keep on seeing all the mistakes I made when I made this photo, but we're going to ignore that for now. Now, if you look at the bottom here, you see that we got a little bit of white down here, and then up here we got some more white. What this is from, and you can see it's some here and here. Part of this is shooting through a round lens. Some of it is because the camera wasn't perfectly level. So that's how we end up with this kind of image here. To fix this, there's two things we could do. We could crop this, we could merge this and then crop it in Lightroom later, or we can select this fill edge. This will fill in this edge here, and this takes a few seconds to do here. So here's another one of those funny cuts. So you can see now that the AI has repaired all those damage there. Now, this is really good that it does it. There are a few other settings here they can set. I just like to use this top one. The other two, I get kind of weird results. You can move this boundary wrap thing here a little bit, and that can help you do stuff. But for this image right here, we're just going to keep it on 0. Now, I'm not going to auto crop that. I'm going to do it myself later if I want to crop it. I'm just going to keep this on auto settings, and I'm just going to keep on stacking. And what stacking does is actually creates another image. So you're going to have a complete image that you can edit without having to keep the original photos. Now at this point here, we're just going to select merge, and this and have the panoramic about 4 or 5 minutes. This video is actually taking about 10 minutes. So here's another one of those funny little cuts. Okay, so after Lightroom merges the photos, this is the image you have here. Now, if you look down in your film strip down here, you'll notice that your 3 pictures are gone. Now, if you select this, just click on the 4, in this case 4, your images will reappear there. So the original images are not altered. They still have it here. Now, this is the image that I have here. I mean, you can see some problems here. I got some out of focus weeds here. This light back here, you can tell I was really rushing. But I think if I wasn't trying to videotape myself at the same time as trying to take this image, I wouldn't have had these mistakes. But that's how you make a panoramic in Lightroom. I am now going to show you how to do it in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm in Lightroom. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and then click on the last picture here to select all three pictures here. I'll import these into Photoshop. So to do that, I right click on them, go to edit, and then edit, merge to panoramic in Photoshop. So I'm going to click on this. And what this is going to do is open up Photoshop if it's not already open up. And it's going to give us a window that will allow us to see our three photos here. So you can see our three photos are selected. Now I'm just going to use the auto standard. You can play with these different options here, and you can see some are tightening them down, some of them are expanding them, but we're just going to use the auto and hit OK. Okay, so you can see that Photoshop has put these photos in a panoramic together here. Now, if you notice here, this is much bigger than the photo that was taken out of Lightroom. And the reason for that is Photoshop doesn't do as much automatic settings as Lightroom does. If you look down here in the lower right-hand side, you can definitely see the three images here, and you can see what parts are being used. So if we just click on the eye here, we can see that the part of that image is taken out of the picture, and we can do that for a different one, and that will eliminate the image that is combined there. So at this point here, you could do any kind of editing or stuff like that if you want to crop or something like that. You could simply crop this tool like this here, take something like this and, change it up a little bit or edit it out as you see fit. You can change this to, right now this is 10 to 2. This we could put it to change it to 4, and we can do that kind of stuff. So now that we have it's something like this here, we can just hit enter, and now the picture will be cropped. And this will give you a lot of flexibility as far as what you want to do or how you want the image to be created. Now, I want you to be aware that this is destructive editing. So you have your original photos in Lightroom, but your photos in that are now that have been imported into Photoshop have been destructively edited. So I just want you to be aware of that. So you do have the original ones, but just be aware that this is destructive editing that's going on here. So I'm hoping you got something out of this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel because that really helps the YouTube world. Become a Patreon supporter. Your support allows us to keep doing this. My name is Sean Leahy. I want to thank you for watching.